Alrighty, thank you everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining me here today. My name is Zainal and I am part of the customer experience team here at Unleashed. I've also got the amazing Shafiq here with me to look after any questions that you have. If you could direct those questions to the questions box, we'll be filtering them through and we'll be covering them at the end of each section. Yeah. So that means I'll be taking a breather for a while Shafiq will be helping me to be chatting away for a wee bit. It is also advisable to keep those questions relevant to the topics today. We will be more than happy to discuss any personal workflows that you may have, whether through offline, through chats, phones, or if you would like to raise a support case. Okay, today our topic is be brilliant at B2B. So let's get started. All right. So what we're going to be covering for today's webinar would be what's new in B2B, a walkthrough of recent top FAQs, and finally a final FAQ to wrap up all the two topics that I've just mentioned. Alrighty, let's move on. Okay, so what's new in B2B? Okay, the first topic that we're going to be covering would be subcategories and new product menu. But before that, I will just stop right there. Okay, I just want to give you, just a refreshment on what B2B is all about. B2B is an additional module allowing you to create a storefront for your customer to purchase directly from your available stock on hand, and this will be appear in Unleashed as a new sales order, and it is a paid version. Okay, so let's go back to the first topic, which is a B2B subcategories and new product menu. All right, previously we only have one layer of category introduced in B2B, and with further enhancement, we have now introduced B2B subcategories as the second layer to keep your product more classified and to improve the search capability of your products. Okay, you can create 3 subcategories level per category when setting up categories in B2B portal. As you may have, as many of you who have been using B2B before, product groups in Unleash is tagged to categories in B2B during the very first import for the first time. When you first started building your B2B portal. Okay, at that point, your product group will be assigned as categories displayed in B2B. Let me just show you how it is look like. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead to my store, and then I'm just going to go to settings, and I go to inventory and categories. All right, so if you are a first-time user to set up your account, right, for the B2B, and you'll be asked to import all your categories that is imported from Unleashed. Yeah, if you click on import, it will take all the existing categories that is found in Unleashed. Yeah, okay. In this case, if you make any changes to the categories in B2B directly, this change will not affect your product group in Unleashed. So just be mindful that if you are re-importing your categories in B2B, all your existing categories in B2B that you have just changed will be deleted and replaced with the product group from Unleashed. Just one information that about the subcategories, it is a separate tools, not separate, sorry, it's a separate settings where you need to set this in B2B separately. Okay. All right. So if you could see here, I have 5 existing product categories. For example, if I would like to, add subcategories to the furniture, I can just hover my cursor to subcategories and I can click furniture sub A and then click on done. And then I click subcategory again to furniture sub B, and then I click on done. Okay, so you can actually create a subcategory on top of that first subcategory as well. And the total will be 3 subcategories you can actually create. Okay, in this instance, I'm just going to show you how it looks like in B2B. All right, but then once you have set this up, you're going to have to go back to the product page where you need to assign this product as usual. Okay, how to do that? We go to the store settings, you go to inventory, products, And then you could see that the categories here are the categories that is going to be shown is also going to be the ones that is shown for the subcategories. Okay, let me just show you, I just want to assign these products accordingly. Okay, click on furniture. I'm just going to go and find my categories as furniture. Right. Okay, so I would like to assign all these products uh, into a subcategory, so furniture sub A, right? So I can just select all, and then you can add to categories, and then in here, hover to the cursor, click on sub, and click apply. All right, so you could see here, the subcategories has been assigned to furniture sub A, and then it is actually belongs to the main categories of furniture. Now, once you have done that, there is a new way to display these categories and subcategories. If you could go to the products, and you will see these are the existing categories that you have, and you will see a cursor here showing you the available subcategories you can find. And then once you have click on it, you will see the list of products that are categorized under these subcategories. All right. Okay, so we're done with the first topic of the day. All right, so I'm just gonna go straight to the second one, which is a customer email invitation customization. All right. So compared to the previous customer's email invitation, we have now added few customized fields which you can freely use in B2B settings. Okay, the first one is email body with rich text components. The second one is email subject line. And then the third one is invitation expiry time frame settings. And the last one would be the preview and restore functions. I'm just going to go ahead and go straight to the settings. Let me just show you how it's done. Okay, so in the settings, you go to customers here, and on the top right, you will see edit customer invitation email. Click on this, and this is how it's going to look like. All right, so this is the default one that I have here. I can just change it to welcome to our brand new name. Okay, just be mindful that you're going to have to keep this symbol, to wrap up the brand name because it's a variable. So when you put this, it's going to use your B2B portal, B2B shop name. Yeah. And then the same thing that you can do as well for the email content here, where you need to keep this, variables symbols here. You can also use put the hi contact name. Okay. And then it will be using the contact email that you have set within the customers that you have ticked for ordering. Yeah. So this is how it's going to look like. And if let's say you have a link, that you would like to, for example, like maybe privacy policy or terms and conditions, you can just click on terms. You can just put your wording here, and then after that, you're going to have to highlight and then click on this button, and it will allow you to copy and paste your link here, and then click on save, and it will become a hyperlink. If let's say you are unhappy with the changes, you can always restore it to the default by clicking this and this one. And just be mindful that the email content body has a maximum of 500 characters, while for the email subject line, it has a maximum character of 100. Okay, so this settings also allow you to have a maximum of 30 days of email, valid. So you can change this as per your requirement and click on save. And if let's say you don't want to save it first and you would like to see how it looks like in email, you can always click on how it look like, and it will be sent to the admin of the B2B portal. All right. So that's the end of our second one. We're going to move to the third one, which is in-person selling enhancement. All right. Okay, now this feature enables you to authorize your salesperson to navigate product and place order on behalf of their assigned customers. For example, salesperson, they're always on the go, they're always on the road, so they would only have an access to the mobile phones, right? So if we give the access to the salesperson, then it's actually giving a convenient way for the salesperson to place orders, right? Okay, but before you could do that, you need to ensure that the salesperson is added as user in Unleashed. Let me just show you how it's done in Unleashed. All right, so this is my Unleashed account. I'm just going to head to settings and I click on security. Sorry, not this one. We'll go ahead to systems and we go to salesperson. And this is where you're going to keep the full name, your email, and at. Right? And then after that, you need to go to the customers, view customers, and let me just show you one of the examples that I have. Okay, so the salesperson is already in here. All right. And then once you have assigned this to the customers, you can click on save. And the final step you could do is you need to go to the B2B portal and then you click on configure. And once you've done that, you need to add salesperson here and click on invite. Be mindful that the user needs to be registered in Unleashed as well as the invitations that comes through from the B2B portal invite new salesperson. So in a way that they have access to Unleashed as well as they have access to B2B portal of their customers. The difference between administrators and salesperson is that administrators, they have access to settings, they have access to pretty much everything in the B2B portal. However, for the salesperson, they don't have access to settings. They will only have access to their assigned customers. That's it. And they were able to place orders on behalf of their assigned customers. And once you have invited this, the salesperson need to accept invitations, which will be sent to their email address for them to complete the registration process. All right, so that marks the end of our first subtopic of the day, which is what's new in B2B. Right, I will go ahead and pass on to Shafiq. If do we have any questions box, Shafiq?
Right. Thank you, Zanel. Hello, everyone. So I'm here, Shafiq from Unleashed Support. So that's the first part of our webinar today, which is what new in the B2B Unleashed. So let me just run through the questions that we have here. All right, so we have a question here from Brandon Gross. Are there going to be more than 3 subcategories in the future? So, what we could say is, based on our statistic, most of our users at the moment only use at most 3 subcategories levels. So, as you can see demonstrated by our colleague just now, Zainal, um, could you please just open the subcategories in B2B so we can just show to the customers?
Sure. Let me just try to open it for you.
Mhm.
Okay, hold on. Let me click on save. Okay, let's go back. Within 3 categories.
Categories. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so you open one of the samples. Okay, can you please
Mm-hmm.
create as many subcategories as you can
Okay.
from here? Yeah.
Okay, click on this one, and I
Mm-hmm.
will add another subcategories on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that's it. It will
Right,
stop
cool.
at there. There are three.
Yeah. All right. So as you can see here, we can have like 3 layers or 3 levels of subcategories within the main categories of furniture. But you can have as many furniture subcategories. For example, you have furniture sub A, sub B, sub C beneath it. And it's only the levels that we have limit to 3. At the moment, we only have 3 layers of subcategories. But it also depends on how our users will use the B2B portal for the categories. Let's say if most of our users requested to have more than 3 subcategory levels, then we will usually advise our users to submit a feature request to our development team. So we can also raise on our behalf. So we usually we will collect requests from customers. It depends on the number of customers that requested this feature. Let's say we have 90% of the customers wanting to have more than three subcategories. Then we will pass this to our developers to consider whether this is feasible and could be implemented in our feature request feature updates. So we will highly recommend you guys to submit a feature request, as this will help us to assess whether we could add this one as a feature update in Unleash. So yeah, okay. And then we have a second question here from Paul Van Herdendel. Why can't the subcategories be within Unleash to enable and import into the B2B platform? I do understand. At the moment, the subcategories in B2B is independent from the subcategories in Unleash. As you all know, subcategories in Unleash is actually also fairly new. We have just launched this feature recently in Unleash. So at the moment, we don't connect the subcategories between Unleash and also the subcategories in B2B. The reason is from previous survey, we find that most of our users wanting to have a different subcategories configuration and also categories key configuration, which is different between Unleash and also B2B. But as I mentioned just now, same goes with the three levels of subcategories. Um, we always appreciate if you guys could share your thoughts or your opinions regarding whether you really want to actually have a connected subcategories between Unleash and B2B, and we could assess if it is feasible for us to link this together and synchronize them so that you don't need to separately create subcategories in B2B to match with the ones in Unleash. So, yep.
Right. Thank you,
And
Shafiq.
then
Do we have
we
any more?
also have okay, we have follow-up question from Paul van der Hel. Currently, we only have one subcategory in Unleash. Yes, that is correct. At the moment, we only support one subcategory in Unleash, but we also exploring if we are able to add this to have more than one subcategories in the future. But at the moment, we have current limitation because we have other modules too that have to be supported with the subcategories feature in Unleash. For example, the BI Vision, the Advanced Inventory Manager, which will also incorporate the subcategories. So at the moment, our current Unleash structure only support for one subcategories within Unleash. And since we have a different or independent subcategories in B2B, that's why we can have more than one in B2B. But we are still trying to find ways if we are able to add this more in the future. Um, okay, we also have follow-up again from Brent Goose. So we have three layers that's printed, but there's more than three at the first layer. Yeah. So actually can have more than three on the first layer. Zana, could you please demonstrate this for us? So under
Oh,
furniture,
yep.
we can have furniture sub A, and you can also add more subcategory. Let's say currently we only have two subcategories here, sub
Mm-hmm.
A and furniture
Okay.
sub B. Could you
Yep.
please add another one under furniture sub B?
Okay. This one, furniture sub B.
You go
Okay.
to
This
furniture
one.
sub B.
Yep.
Beneath it. I'm sorry.
Give
Yeah.
me, give me a sec. This one, right? Okay. So I'm
No,
just
no,
gonna add.
sorry.
Okay, this
Yeah,
one.
this one. So you can
Oh
add
yeah.
furniture sub C and sub D, for example.
Yeah. We can have this. Let me just do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Subcategory
So as you can see here, you can have actually you can have
D.
more than three for the first
Mm-hmm.
layer, and same goes
Yep.
for the second layer and also third layer. But you can only have maximum of three layers for the
Yes.
subcategories.
Mm-hmm. True. We can have as many here as well. Yep.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay. Last question we have from Paul Van der Hal. We are about to start B2B. Okay, that's good news. And so there's a template to upload via CSV. All right. So for this one, at the moment, we don't have the features to import the subcategories or categories in B2B via CSV file. We only have that in Unleash as a native feature, but you can you have to manually add the subcategories within this product categories page. Um, and yeah, I do appreciate that thought, and we will try to um, connect with our developers if this is possible in the future. So thank you for that. All right, cool. Let me just check for a moment. Okay, so now that's the questions that we have for the first part. Now I'll pass back to you, Zainal, to proceed. Thank you, everyone.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Shafiq, for answering those questions. All right, so team, we're going to be moving on to the second topic of the day, which is a walkthrough of recent top FAQs. All right, the first one is how to ensure that the freight rate is recognized so that the order can be placed by a customer. Okay, so give me a sec. Okay, so freight rate is a charge that you can add in B2B, and usually it depends on the customer's locations, right? So if let's say there are Northwest and East-West, there are going to be different freight fees that you can add within your B2B portal. Okay, let's take New Zealand, for example, right? Let me just go straight to the B2B. Okay, so if you could go to the orders, you go to freights, go to freight settings. Okay, so ensure that you have toggle this both settings on, and then for example, choosing New Zealand. Okay, if I could go to the edit countries, I go to New Zealand, and then it'll pop up as 17 out of 17 selected, right? So these are what I've just told, that if you need to have all these 17 regions, these are the exact name that has to be put within your customer's delivery address as well. So let's say I would like to put my order. Okay, let me just act as one of my customers. Okay. Oops, sorry, not this one. I'm just going to change that. Okay, so for example, I would like to order bed sheets. Okay, and I add this to cart. Alrighty, so it will go straight to the this one. Right, so I'll proceed to order, and then this is fine because state is Auckland and town city could be any. For example, maybe Papakura. Let's just change it randomly. And if let's say you are putting Papakura here, it's not going to have a matching regions here. So what I'm trying to say is that for the state province regions, it has to come from any of those 17 states, and it's fine if the town city is not from there. So as long as you have the correct state, then it will give you the correct freight rate. Let me go back and change it back to Auckland. Okay, and then from here you will see the regional rate as populated as accordingly. If I just change it to somewhere else again and then make it incorrect, then you will see that the place order now is being grayed out. So you got to make sure that this state region province is matching with the 17 regions that is stated in your freight rate settings. Okay, the same behavior if you would like to add another countries as well. You're going to have to make sure that the state regions is visible, is present, so that the order will be able to be placed accordingly. Okay, so let's move on to the second FAQs. How to only show specific product or catalog for a specific customer. Okay, so the most fundamental part or steps that we have to do to achieve this would be to set all your products to hidden for all your customers. Okay, let me just show you how it's done. All right, so I'm gonna go to my settings. Okay, before that, let me just stop acting as customer, and I go to products. All right, so for now, you could see that my default status for every product that I have 143 products. They are all sellable. So to first one is to ensure that everything is hidden. Bulk action and make hidden. Okay, these are all called base catalogs. Okay, base catalog needs to be hidden from the view. Okay, and after that, you go ahead and go to your catalogs, which is placed under inventory and then catalog. All right, so let me just delete this for now so that we can have a live example. Okay, so I have probably, okay, I would like to have, this five products to be visible to only one customer. Okay, so let's do that. I'm adding one catalog as loyal customers. Okay, so in here you could see there are zero product at the moment and there are zero customers as well at the moment. All right, so once you have created this, you can just, yeah, okay, the way that you add this is through here, create catalogs, and then it will pop up here. You can always edit that in here. All right, once you've done that, you go to inventory again, you go to products, and then you are going to set maybe five of these products. One, two, three, four, five, and then you bulk actions. Sorry, not bulk action. You have already selected this. Yeah, sorry. Add to catalogs, and then you click this loyal customers. All right, these two parts are very important. Set default status to product as hidden. All right, and this is for the base. And then for this specific catalog, you select as sellable or visible, and then you click on apply. All right, so you could see here in the product listing details, the catalogs has loyal customers as their catalogs. Now, the final step that you need to do is to assign this specific catalog into one specific customer. Now you can go ahead and click on the top right, manage catalogs, which will bring you to catalogs settings here. And then make sure you are toggling on the correct one. In here, you click on the hyperlink customers, and it will bring you straight to customers. You can also go to your customer and customer setting as well. Same way. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and find my customer here, right? Because I just want to hide only one customer. Okay, so go to actions, sign catalogs, and you click the specific catalog you have just created and click publish. There you go. Assign catalog is loyal customers, and it will only be this customer will only be able to access five products. All right, so if you go to manage catalog again, you will see there are only one customers and there are only five products that this customer can assign, I can view and place order. All right, so of course you have the rest of your customers, right? That you don't want to left them behind. So of course you want to revert back to where they can, view and you can sell the products. So what you can do is you can create another catalog, unspecified catalog. Okay, so for example, okay, and then unspecified catalog, you want to make sure that all products are going to be put in here, and then the rest of the customers' numbers are going to be displayed here. The same thing you can do is you go ahead to product, and then now you need to bulk action all pages, and then you have to add catalog here, and then you search the unspecified catalog, search to hidden, set to hidden, and then click on sellable. All right, it's all done. But then another final steps again, you have to assign the rest of the customers to this specific catalog. You can click on manage catalog and click in here. And then, okay, at this point, of course, you don't want to take one by one, right? So the catalog here, you want to omit the loyal customers. Okay, oh, sorry. You want to click none, right? So the loyal customers are not going to be visible under these settings, under this list. Okay, now you can click on bulk actions, all pages, and add to catalogs. And you can finally set unspecified catalog here, click apply. All right, so let's go back and check the number. There are 33 customers, there are 143 products. So everything is in order. All right, so if let's say you want to check whether the one that I have just done is correct, right? So you can access customer and select my customer that I've just set to only five products. So this customer will only have 5 of the products. And if you act as another customer that doesn't have any effect on the loyal customers, they will have all 143 products here. 143, right? I think that's the end of the second one. The third one is how to refresh product connection in B2B. Um, okay, so product data in B2B is derived from Unleash. So any update that is not syncing from Unleash will need to be refreshed from Unleash itself, not from the B2B. But actually, there isn't any specific feature to initiate product remap between B2B and Unleash. However, you can actually trigger product synchronization process from Unleash to B2B by simply going to the individual inventory, for example, and then you can just simply click on save. All right. So of course, if you want to see, if you want to update, you want to update the sync from B2B from Unleash to B2B for multiple products, it's a troublesome to do it one by one. So what can we do is we go click import and export, and click on the product. It will prompt you to download the CSV, and without changing anything, you can just take the same CSV and upload it to here. And it will simply refresh the connection between Unleashed product to B2B. All right, so let's move on to the next one is the price displayed at the product front page in B2B tax exclusive? All right. So the administrator of B2B portal can have access whether they want to display product front page as tax exclusive or not. This is how we do that. For example, if you go to settings, oh, let me just stop acting first. Settings. And hold on, let me give me a sec. All right, inventory, product details, and then you can toggle this show prices as tax exclusive on and off, right? So if it is tax inclusive, then it's gonna show as tax inclusive. If it's not, then it will omit the tax amount. So like for example here, if we have batch sheet, right? So the default sell price here that I could see here is 100. Okay, but then I show this price as tax inclusive. So that means if we search here, okay, let me just add this customer first. So the amount will be tax exclusive. You can always change that by toggling these settings on and off. Okay, so simple as that. We're gonna move to the next one is how to include customer reference or PO fields into the order confirmation email. All right, so unfortunately, there isn't a feature at the moment to include customer reference or PO field into the order confirmation email. We personally received quite a few requests to include this customer reference or PO fields into the order confirmation email, quite a few actually. So the workaround that we have provided is, to ensure that the customer reference or the PO number will be put under comment sections when the customer is placing orders. As such, let me just show you how it's done. Okay, let's go back to this one. I have an order here. Oh, sorry, not this one. Okay, I have an order here that is pending to be placed. Okay, delivery. Okay, this is what I was just talked about. For example, if reference PO number 121313, and then let's just copy this and paste this into comment section. And then once you've done that, you can just click place order now. And once it is successful, the email that is sent to the ones who placed the order, email address, will have the comment section displayed as of the reference PO number. Well, of course, this one is no issue because this will always go straight to the reference that is set in your sales order. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay, so the next one, which is the final one, is how does Unleashed control pricing in B2B? Okay, so the way that product pricing in B2B works is the same as how we see the pricing works in Unleashed, right? It is following the price hierarchy, which is a customer, and then after that, product quantity prices, and then after that is sale price tier, and finally, it's going to be the default sale price tiers. If I could go back to my this one, okay. I'm going to show you diagram. Get help this page. Let me just find it. Customer pricing hierarchy. All right, just make it bigger. Alrighty, so this is diagram that is set within the helpful articles. Right, if let's say the specific customer in B2B has their own specific customer pricing in Unleashed, right? So if there is, then your order in B2B will be using that price. If let's say there are none, but then they have quantity price breaks within the specific product, then it will be using the price that is set from the quantity prices. Before that, let me stop myself. I'm just going to show you how it's done from the customer pricing. Okay, so for example, here I have my customers here, and then go straight to the customer pricing tab. For example, you have a batch sheet here. I could just add this, and if let's say I want to add the price discount, it's maybe 95, 96, and then click on add. And once you click on save, all right, when you go to your B2B portal and the specific customer place an order, it will pick up this price 96 instead of the 100. Okay. And then let's go to the second one, which is a product quantity price breaks. Okay, so this is in around product. So what can we do is we go to the batch sheets, and then you go to sale, and then there will be a tab here says quantity prices. This is basically like for example, if your customer, any of the customers is placing a minimum quantity of 2, and then they have a discount, or maybe they have a specific price. Let's say put 2, and then the price discount is, let me put a fixed price as maybe 77, and then you click on add. If the customer is putting on the quantity of 2, then they will automatically have the 77 price there displayed in B2B. Now, let's go back to the diagram. Okay, so if this one also is not available in Unleashed product, right, then system will try to look for any sale price tiers. If there are sale price tiers, then it will click and take the sale prices applied to your B2B sales order. If there isn't, then they will they will take the default sale price, which is set in this one. Alrighty. So that's how the pricing is being applied in B2B, pretty much the same as how we see the pricing being applied in Unleashed when you place a sales order directly in Unleashed. Okay, so let's see. I guess that would be the end of our module. All right, Shafiq, I'm going to stop right here to see if there are any questions in the questions box.
Right. Thank you, Zanel. So now we're at the end of the second part, which is the FAQ for the B2B. Let me read a few questions here related to the FAQ. Okay, we have Viv Wilson. We charge freight as a percentage of sales to Australian customers. Is this a feature that can be easily created? Okay, so Zana, if you could please help me open the freight settings.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to
Mhm.
the freight settings. But as far as I know, we are only able to put the number numerical in there.
Yep. All right. Okay, as you can see here, we can only put the price, the exact value of the price for the freight.
Mm-hmm.
Currently we don't have the option to use percentage instead from the purchase order of the products within the sales order. So if you want to have a percentage freight at the moment, you'll need to manually calculate the freight and then put it the value into this freight cost for the sales order. You can either do it here in B2B, or you can also add the freight later on in Unleash when the sales order has already been exported into Unleash.
Hmm.
So, yep. At the moment, we don't have percentage option to add into the freight cost for the sales order. But sure, I will also try to raise this one to our developer and see if it is actually possible to add in the future. Okay.
Just gonna stop right there, Shafiq. Sorry, but I'm also interested to know how the percentage is being calculated, whether it's coming from how many subtotals of the product, or is it by per product, or I don't know. Maybe let's just get the details of our audience here, and then we'll reach out to accordingly.
Yeah.
We would like to know more.
Um,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So we will suggest and really encourage our users to submit a support ticket
Yes.
so that we can learn more and how the use case scenario and in your situation, how would you usually use the freight charges? As you mentioned earlier, you use the freight as percentage of sales from your for your Australian customers. So we would love to learn and know more how your workflow is and how you will implement into the B2B and also Unleash in general, so that we could consider if this would be applicable to our software in the future. So yeah. Currently, I only have one question from Viv Wilson regarding related to the FAQ here. I will wait for few more seconds if you guys have any other questions.
We can give a few minutes to make room for everyone if they have questions.
Yep,
Let's wait
sure.
for that.
If you have any question, you can relate it to the FAQ. You can just pop up in the Q&A box. But if you don't have any other further questions related to the FAQ, we will proceed afterwards with general Q&A session if you guys want to ask any questions related to B2B. Okay, we have another question here from Scott Miller. Will it be possible to download a catalog to check contents? In general, for our B2B portal module, we don't have the specific feature to download CSV file from any of the tabs within the B2B portal. For example, if you want to download the catalogs or the list of categories or subcategories, at the moment we only need to do it directly within the B2B portal. But I do believe our developers are still in the works to see if we are able to add this as an option. Let's say, for example, to download as a CSV file, to download it or re-import it into the B2B so that you can manage your information easier and more streamlined to have a streamlined process. So at the moment, you have to create everything in B2B, and unlike Unleash, where we have the option for each module to have import-export option, and where you can either download the information from Unleash into a CSV file, or you can make changes to this CSV file and then re-upload it into Unleash for it to update the system. So yeah.
Shafiq, I actually have a question myself. How does the sales order being set from B2B to Unleash? Because Unleash we have their own prefix, right? And then sales order also have the same prefix. So
Mm.
they is the number being continued from B2B and Unleashed.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. So if a customer has already placed an order in B2B portal, it will generate the sales order from B2B into Unleashed. And it will use the same prefix, which is SO dash, and then you have like, for example, 00001234. So it might be quite intimidating at first because you don't know how to filter out or get or see whether this sales order is based is from Unleash or that whether it comes from B2B. So Zana, could you please open your Unleash account? Let me
Yep.
just demonstrate for you and
All
for
right.
others to see. Okay, if you go to the sales and then click on
Mm-hmm.
view sales orders.
Okay.
Mhm. All right. Okay, here we have all of our sales order coming from your B2B, from the Unleash itself, or if you have any other integration with Unleash, and it will coming in here, list down all of the sales order within view sales order screen. So if you could go to the show toolbar tab at the top at the right of the page and click on hidden columns. Okay, here, you actually have sales channel. I can see here that Zana has already
Oh, this
transferred the
one.
channel here on
Right.
the screen. So
Just
if you haven't do it yet, you can see within this hidden column list, there will be a sales channel column.
let
So
me
you
find
can
it.
find it
Right.
should be under channels, maybe at the top one.
Oh, there you
Yep.
go. This one.
Right. So this sales channel will categorize the sales order based on channel, and then you can either drag it within the header columns, and you can see the icon there. If you hover over the icon, you can identify whether it comes from um, Shopify. Let's say if you have integrated to your Shopify account, or you have it from B2B, or using API, or from mobile, and also from the Unleash itself. So you can also group this for easy filtering. Let's say, for example, Jana, could you please hover it to the column header? Yeah. Okay, so here we will see it is the sales order is grouped into the different sales channels. Let's say if you want to see only sales channel for the B2B portal, you can expand the line for B2B, and here you go. You can see the sales order for your B2B portals here. And as usual, you can also further filter these orders using the filters at the top screen. Let's say, for example, if you want to filter for specific dates or specific customer, for example, you can still use the filters above to further narrow down your search. Cool.
Right. Thank you, Shafiq. That's a very good one. Okay.
Um, all
Do you have
right.
any more questions in the questions box?
Okay, at the moment, let me just have a quick sneak peek on the questions. Okay, so far we don't have any other questions related to FAQ. And now I will open the floor for general questions about B2B portal. So I will go through first for the first question from Scott Miller. When will the product spec size come across to B2B as customer can order one which might not be the pack size? Okay, so if you go to the inventory and open any of the product records, please, Zainal. I just want to show to you all that you can assign a pack size to your products within your product
Mhm.
record.
Let me see if I have an example of. All right.
Okay, so if you scroll down, you can actually add under the unit of measure. Could you click any one of the unit of measure? If you add a new unit of measure, you can also add the pack size of the product for this specific unit of measure, which essentially assign what is the pack size of the product for one quantity for one unit of this specific product. But at the moment, we do not have the ability to like um, choose or limit the pack size in your B2B page. So as a workaround, usually we will advise the customer to have a different products for different pack sizes. So let's say, for example, if you want to sell one bottle of water, and also you also have one pack of water which have, let's say, six bottles of water. So you're gonna have to create a two separate product for one unit of bottle, and also one pack which consists of 6 units of water bottles. And then you can link them together using the bills of materials. Um, and then from there, the customer would be able to order in the B2B portal by selecting whichever products sizes that you have created from Unleashed. So yeah, that's the current workflow if you have more than one pack size for your products. Okay, and then let's check if you have another one. Okay, another question from Brandon Gross. What is the capacity to adjust the look and feel of the product pages in B2B? General question. All right, cool. Great question. So, Zanal, could you please just jump back into your B2B portal?
Mm-hmm.
Here we have quite a number of customization in B2B portal. So if you could go to general settings, you can customize either your company logo, your banner image, and any other fields that you can fill in within this screen. Um, at the moment, we have available customization within the general settings. You could also like put the additional homepage or tabs header within your B2B page. Let's say, for example, if you could go to homepage and header, sign up. So yeah, here you can also add additional banners and also to have products that you want to feature for your B2B portal. You can explore and see if which features that works for you. But let's say, for example, you wanted to have something that's currently not in Unleash. We will highly suggest you to give to share the idea with us, and we will be more than happy to forward this with our development team to see if we could add this in the future. All right. Okay, we have one question from anonymous attendee. All right. Is there a way to have customer order minimum quantities of product, but they order in multiples of that quantities? Okay, let's say for example, you have a customer and you want to set the minimum purchase price. Let's say you have, let's take example, water bottles again. You want them to be able to order at least 6 bottles of water, but you only want them to able to purchase in the multiple of 6. Let's say you don't want them to be able to order for 7 bottles or 8 bottles. You just either want them to have 6 or 12 or 18 and so on. At the moment, we can set the minimum orders based from what you have set within Unleash itself. So if you go to the product record here, like have shown by Zanel, there's a minimum sale quantity option for you to set. However, this only set the minimum amount or minimum units of the products that you are able to limit the customers to, but it won't allow for multiples of that quantity of the product. So similar to what we have suggested to our participant earlier, Scott Miller, at the moment, you have to create another product to have like the multiples of 6, for example. As I mentioned just now, we can have like a product record for 1 bottle of water and a product record of 6 bottles of water. And once you set the limit, let's say they can order 2 units of 6 bottles of water. That means they will have 12 bottles of water. Um, but the customers, your customers need to order from the product record for 6 bottles of water. So yeah, currently we can set the minimum sales quantity for each product, but for the multiples at the moment, you have to create another record to have the multiples of that main product. So yeah, alrighty. So we'll just wait if we have any more questions.
We have a few minutes left, but Still
Feel
waiting
free to
for
drop us
the
questions, but
yeah.
if you don't have any question at the moment, you can always still reach out to us and just pop a support ticket or via calls or um live chat and ask us away if you have any questions related to B2B or any other modules really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question here. I need to test the B2B portal and see how it works with our Unleash account before subscribing it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to test B2B store in the Sandbox account? Okay, for this, Zainal, would you mind try it for us?
Okay, so unfortunately, for the B2B, we're not able to test it out with the Sandbox account. So the usual workaround that we give to the customers is that we will encourage the customer to subscribe a trial B2B with us, and that will have to go through the account manager they have been assigned with. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Just so you know, for our participants that doesn't know what Sandbox account is, actually the account owner for your Unleash account could create a sandbox environment. A sandbox environment is a duplicate account from your live account where you can do any testings, or you can test and validate your account or see if you want to make any amendments without affecting your live account. Let's say, for example, you want to test for a new workflow in your Unleash account, but you don't want it to be affected in your live account. The account owner could actually go to the My Account at the top right of the screen under their name at the top right of Unleash screen, and then click on My Account. There will be a button to create a Sandbox account. So once the Sandbox account has been created, you can actually jump into the Sandbox account and do whatever you want, which it will replicate the latest the information and data you have in your live account without affecting your actual account. So let's say, for example, you want to test where if you delete this B2B sales order from your account, how does it affect your margin, for example? You can do this in your Sandbox account. And once you have confirmed on the workflow and how it will behave, you can just go back to your live account and replicate the process. And it should give the same result as the one that you have tested in Sandbox account. So that is a really powerful tool if you want to, if you're unsure or you're not confident enough, or you just want to know how your system will behave if you do certain workflow or certain processes in Unleash. So yeah, at the moment, we don't have the ability or we don't allow B2B to be connected to the Sandbox account, but you can actually always have the B2B trial subscribe. So you can have a test in your B2B trial account. And for this, you can always reach out to your account manager if you're interested to opt for the B2B trial before actually subscribing to it.
All right. Thank you so much, Shafiq. I think we're running out of time now. So I think we can just wrap it up for today's webinar. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining today and for all the questions that you have sent through. And thank you, Shafiq, for being a very great co-host. And a quick reminder that if you have any question that is not relevant to today's topic, you can reach out to us through phones, live chats, or raising a case with us. And me and Shafiq or any of the team members who are available can get back to you. We'll also be putting the recorded version of the webinar up on the registration page if you want to refer back to any of the topics covered and explanations provided. Yeah, you can also find our catalog of past webinars if you would like to learn a little bit more about any of the previous topics. Okay, finally, if you've got time, we really appreciate if you could fill out our short survey on today's webinar. They'll pop up through Zoom once you exit the webinar today. It's going to be very useful for us to decide, because from your suggestions, we can decide for future webinars, which myself and the team could use to make decisions on our upcoming topics. So thank you again, everyone, for attending, and we wish you a great long weekend again ahead. So thanks, team. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you on the next webinar. Bye.